Hello, hello, you guys. Welcome, welcome. I am going to wait just a minute to let everybody come on in. And then we will go ahead and get started. Okay, hold on. Pressing lots of buttons here. All right. Welcome, welcome. In the chats, if you could put where you are from. And let's think, your favorite product in the chats while we're waiting for everybody to get on. That would be awesome. And I am gonna click these few buttons and then I'll be ready to go. All right. Okay, here we go. Okay, I'm gonna check the chat, see where you guys are all from. Grand Rapids, Michigan, Sarasota, hydrate, woohoo. I haven't even gotten mine yet. I ordered mine a few weeks ago now, and I haven't even gotten it, so I'm so jealous. Texas, greens, oh yeah, yep. Sacramento, Mocha Dreams, which is keto coffee and chocolate greens. I love it. Toronto, greens. Yes, so something really silly. I ran out of my chocolate greens and I got sick like 3 days later. Like I have a cold now and I've only been out of chocolate greens this week. And I think that cannot be a coincidence. Australia, keto coffee. All right, awesome. All right, well, my name is Denise Walsh. Thank you so much for hanging out with us on Team Training Tuesday. I have been a part of this company for almost 12 years, and I love spending time with you guys every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. So we switch up the leaders. Sometimes it's other leaders, ambassadors, presidentials, triples, newly promoters on our team, but this is when the Black Diamond Mind and beyond get together. So put it on your calendar to be a part of this training each and every week. And we're going to actually start doing polls on the group, in the group. So that way you guys, if you've got a topic you really want to learn about, you can weigh in and be a part of that. Right now, I also have a presidential and above kind of leadership group, and we meet every quarter to plan out all of the trainings that we're going to do so we can get good guests and so we can be prepared and know what we're going to talk about. So just know that this is for you to help you grow your business. And the training that we're going to do tonight is super duper special. It's a sales training, basically, and a self-awareness training. For those that don't know, I was a clinical psychologist before this, so I love all things personal development, growth, identifying who you are and how you can best tap into your natural strengths. But what I love is that in this industry, when I focus on what I'm good at and help other people focus on what they're good at, we all can win. And that's what our team truly strives to do. So today we're going to talk about the color personalities. And honestly, you may have heard this before. If you've been around It Works for a while, tell me in the chats if you have heard of the color personalities before. And if you have, what is your personality, dominant personality trait? If you haven't, don't worry. We're going to go through it all today. But what I love about this is that we're going to be able to go back to this. This is a training that you're going to be able to send your new team, and I'll try to cut out the first part. And we're going to be able to train our new distributors to help them understand who they are and then how to talk to other people as well. So there's 4 dominant personalities, and I've created a really cool, actually, I can't even lie. I didn't create it. My assistant at the time did. Bailey created this a while ago because we did this at our leadership training And I love the layout. So you can see we did this in 2014, but I love the layout. If you were at the castle, this is the same PowerPoint from the castle. So Jackie, you can use it again if you want. Jackie was at the castle. I can't believe it's been that long. So what I want you to do while we're doing this, and Alicia is going to unmute and go back and forth with me on this as well, is think about yourself. Then we're going to think about our prospects. And then we're going to think about our team, because we're all wired differently. And the way that you talk to someone will either make them excited or make them go, not for me. So we want to learn how to speak their language. So Alicia, I'm sharing my screen, right? Yep. Why don't you unmute yourself, introduce yourself a minute, and tell us a little bit about red.
Did you choose red for me on purpose?
You're totally purple.
No, the blue is all pretend. But anyway, so I am Alicia Waters. I am Presidential Diamond. In April, I'll be celebrating my 8th year with It Works. Guys, I was a loyal customer at first, and after 3 weeks became a distributor 8 years ago. So fabulous to be a part of this. And, It Works was a natural click for me. Here in North Carolina, I started selling things when I was in 2nd grade. I mean, I was telling Denise when we were talking about this the other day, I said, I was just raised as a salesperson, but I was also raised with a very red personality. I am so red that at one point I had to talk to Mike Patillo, who originally started teaching us about the color personalities, because I started feeling like I was green, because I started making charts and graphs for how I wanted things to look, how I wanted things to be set up. And he said, no, Alicia, you're not green. You're so red. You're such a control freak that you think you're going to be green because you're so focused and want to be in control. So the red personality, 10% of all people are this red personality. They ask when. And the red personality, if you're listening to me right now, you're probably already done with me talking, because you're wanting to get to the next point. You're like, I know this part, I'm done, let's go next. We're very decisive and we're very driven, absolutely. And they're also the leaders and the drivers. They're the ones that are at the take charge, leading at the front, but, make great decisions, but not always the best decisions. I'd say we're not always the best decision makers, but we will make them really quickly. We're task oriented. That is, we love checklists. We love 6 lists for, have that little checklist, because we're so goal driven that when we get to check something off that list, boom, we just won. We just had a victory. And very, very result oriented, which means they overlook details. See, not green at all. And really, really, because we're so driven and have these blinders on, we sometimes skip by people, or we sometimes might be so focused and driven that we say things that we don't necessarily mean, or sound a little harsh. It may hurt feelings unintentionally, always unintentionally, because a red person is not rude, crude, or mean. They're just focused and driven.
One of my favorite examples for all of the colors, we'll kind of give a different example each one, is if you were to ask a red personality to go build a bridge, they would just be like, okay, and they'll go do it. They did not ask where. They did not ask how strong do you need it to be. They do not ask details. They just go, okay. And I feel like I was a yellow. We'll get to yellow in a minute. But I also, my athlete in me loves, like the competitive spirit in me loves to win. And so I'm a lot more red than I gave myself credit for. But let's keep going, because the cool thing is you can identify yourself as we go through each of these, but then also think about people the prospects, the leads that are interested, and we'll go through ideas of what to say. But then also, if you have a red on your team, how to motivate them. Go ahead, Alicia.
So reds are competitive and love a challenge. You know, think about Cammie. What do you think Cammie is? You know, the coach. What do you think Mark is? Like the coach, the driven, the challenge, the win, you know, and they want to be in charge. You know, I love being in charge, and I like telling people what to do. So it's naturally a red driven personality. Reds are great at taking initiative and being self-starters. You know, common careers of a red are sometimes too attorneys, airline pilots, CEOs, and guess what? Politicians are often red. You know, they want to take charge, be in front and be in the lead and, you know, go for it and make a change. They may push you at times and they need to work on being sensitive. You know, the reds, a lot of times their best friends tend to be a yellow because the yellows feel like they have to take care of them, and the reds are just so bold and, you know, China in a bull shop that they, you know, forget things and lose things along the way, and so they have to have their yellows pick them up. But they need to work on being a little bit more sensitive like a yellow to the other personalities, but they like to get that job done by like crossing those lists off, making the check, and, you know, having their victory. They're motivated by contests. That's very obvious. Denise, do you think I'm motivated by a contest?
Alicia wins every contest. Yeah.
I
she's going on the team cruise we're doing in May. She won. Woo-hoo.
I see when there is a team contest, that's all I can think about. And that is just the red in me. You know, I want to win, I want to win, I want to win, I want to win. We like tasks, we like challenges, and by doing things that no one else has been able to do. You know, I don't know that I've ever asked Barb Hauser, but, you know, when she joined the company, Barb Hauser, who's an ambassador diamond in the Walsh team, you know, she went diamond in 8 days, you guys. She went diamond in 8 days to get the $10,000 bonus because it was ending. And so I think Barb has a lot of yellow in her, but I know she's got a lot of red in her too, because she put those blinders on and she was focused and she got that $10,000 because she was so up for the challenge and to make it happen. So look for reds, you know, everywhere you go, because a red will be a great leader, a great motivator on your team.
So if you think you're red, remember 10% of people are red. So if you think you're predominantly red, say I am red in the chats. Reds are competitive, they're goal focused, they're type A, they're driven, no excuses, that kind of thing. So if you are, Alicia, let's say you're in the supermarket and you're chatting up with the person behind you, because we always are making conversation. Tell me, how would you talk to how would you, number one, identify a prospect or a lead as a red, and then how would you talk to them?
Well, one of the things you can always look for is a red, you know, is so focused on what they're doing at that moment. Like that's what's going on right there. You know, they're focused on the grocery shopping. They're focused on getting out of there. They're focused on what they're making that night. They're focused on, you know, winning and making it happen. You will find that their volume is sometimes a little bit louder and more in command. So if you see that they're being pretty bold in conversations around them, you might could, you know, identify a little bit that they're red. They dress typically for success. You know, you don't see a whole lot of reds in yoga pants and no makeup on and hair up in ponytails, you know, in the middle of the day. You know, a red goes out and they're fit for business.
I don't know, Alicia. When you're a mom and you work from home, it's all I wear is yoga pants. Like, she's from the South. They like do their hair to go to the grocery store.
There is makeup on this face if I leave my house, period. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You know, so their dislikes, and you have to be careful with this with the red, they're not chatty. They're not into small talk because they just want to get it done. So if you identify red, you know, maybe start the chat up like, hey, you know, I love avocados too. Are you doing the keto diet? You know, ask them a question. Sometimes we'll see if they just start talking about, you know, how they're on this diet, how they've lost, you know, 15 pounds and how they're looking forward to losing 25 and they know that they're going to happen and it's going to be by the end of the month, you know, because they're in this amazing challenge and they're going to win, all of a sudden, boom, you know that they're a red. So,
do you have a Blitz card around?
I have a Blitz card?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
I just packed one. It's right here.
So these are the Blitz cards, and these are basically coupon cards. It's kind of like a business card that has a coupon on it. So you can say, hey, can I give you a coupon? And what I love about Reds is that they immediately see that. Okay, flip it over. And then they go, oh, money? Oh, you can make money? Oh, so they're interested in making money. They're interested in, yes, Miss Christy, you can use your $100 in free product for Blitz cards. Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. I would absolutely get t-shirts, hats, and Blitz cards with your free product vouchers. But the Blitz cards are coupon cards. And so the red is going to be like, oh, I want to make money. How do you do that? They're going to be immediately drawn to the income you can make in this business. So when you're doing a presentation,
I know it says it's backwards, but it says get paid right here. You know, sip it, sample, share it, get paid is right there.
Yeah, yeah.
For red, that's the part they get really excited about.
Yeah. And so when you're doing presentations, we'll talk about all 4 colors, but you want to think about how you can hit all 4 colors throughout the presentation. So you're talking about how can I, you know, who wants to make more money during the presentation, or when you're blitzing, like, oh yeah, you can totally make money. You know, you're talking about it because that's going to speak their language. Now, what if you have a team member who's a red, Alicia? What should you do?
So a team member that's a red, you need to give them tasks. You know, if they are brand new, maybe give them a 6 list to do at night. And then challenge them to check off that 6 list the next day. And if they are not self-motivated enough, which most reds are going to do that, then offer them an incentive to do that. Hey, you know what? Complete your steps to success this month, and you and I are going for mani-pedis, you know? Or complete your steps to success this week. I mean, with the codes right now and the BOGO and everything that we've got going on, you guys, we've got so much excitement in building our teams and with the different bonuses that are out there. Guys, complete your steps to success this week. And if you do that, you can offer your team member to order them a free pack of Blitz cards. You know, it'll be for you. You know, give them a prize, a contest, a little incentive for completing or meeting the goal of the challenge of winning. You know, you can go for bigger promotions like, you know, promote to diamond this month and we're going on a beach getaway weekend. You know, those are the kind of things that if they can win, they want it. And sometimes guys, it doesn't even have to be a monetary gift. Sometimes a red loves a shout out, loves to be the winner and talked about, and you know, then it just drives them on to the next goal that they're going to have. So sometimes you can see that a red wants to win just for the win. It doesn't even have to be a prize. They want to win for the recognition. Yeah. So find out go ahead.
Well, sorry. We always say people live, you know, want money, but they'll live for money, but die for recognition. And reds are no different. I think that when I was moving, like when we were going through our ambassador runs, we went ambassador in 5 years. We did not have team challenges. We had team hangouts and we had team meetings, but we never had contests. And I think that whatever it was, I just wanted to be a part of the excitement. So it was never for the actual, it was for like the shout out. It was for to like get asked to speak on stage. It was for to like be able to talk at the team meeting and like, you know what I mean? It was for the recognition more than it was any prize. But what's cool is once you identify reds, then you can have them introduce you on stage, or you can give them spots in the party to help them grow in this area. They can be your like charting queens because they know the comp plan because they want to make money. You know, you can find the reds on your team and then highlight them in a way that gives them like that allows them to shine.
A red would rather teach than be taught. So give them goals to learn something that they can share on your team. So a red loves to have the ability to teach people and show them what they've got going on because they love to teach other people what they know.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Christy's like, yes. I'm like, yes. So now Christy's a leader that just signed up on our team that I'm now saying, why, hello, Miss Leader. Now we're going to do a team call and and you're going to help me lead it. And we're going to, you know what I mean? And I love that because when you know somebody's language, you can speak it and help raise them. Okay, let's move on because we've got 3 more. Blues, if you're blue, post it in the chats. Alicia, go ahead.
Oh my gosh. So if I was a blue, I'd be so excited all the time. Oh my gosh. We're going to have so much fun. We're going to travel the world together. We're going to have so many parties, and we are going to have so much fun. Oh my goodness. So it's just, guys, it's all about the fun. You know, 25% of us are blue, and we just have so much fun. They ask who's going to be there? Who do we get to hang out with? Who else do we get to see? Who else can come with us? They're so much a part of the party. They walk into the room, they want to see who is there, and then they want to be seen as the person that is there, the life of the party. They're extremely interactive, and I find that they're extremely vibrant and uninhibited, and they love people. That's why I think people sometimes say that I'm a blue, because I do love people, but they're expressive and impulsive, and they can lose focus really fast because they get so distracted about social situations, and they're hard to stay on task because they get so involved with the excitement of the event that's going on right now.
And
you thought I was a blue?
Not a motivator for a blue. So
what is that?
They're just kind of like, they just want to be, like, they join for the community. So when you're doing presentations, again, when you're doing a party or you're talking to someone, you talk about how much fun you have. Talk about the team trainings. Talk about the fact that you're not doing this alone, because that's the blues language. A red's like, I'll see you when I'm diamond, you know? Yeah. I don't need community. But a blue is like, if it's not fun, I'm not doing it. And so
that's right.
Wants community, and they want to know that they're not doing it alone. Now, one thing that's tricky about blues is that they can show up all the time, but not actually be working their business.
Amen. A blue always comes to conference. They're at every taste it, try it, boot camp, event, every single one. They might not ever grow in the business, but they're at every single event because they love the community. But you know what, guys? It takes those. We want blues on our team. We want those people to be there, and we love them for being there.
Well, and Jackie said, as a blue, she works her business because she wants the money to travel and do all the fun things. Yes.
Yes.
And there's a lot of blues that are really successful in this business because they love people and parties and all of that. But what's really fun is if you see someone all the time, but then they say, well, my team's not growing or my check isn't growing. The question to ask them is, well, when was the last time you wrapped someone? When was the last time you followed up with someone? When was the last time you kind of put in the legwork to really grow? Or are you just hanging out with us? I mean, it's okay. But most of the time, it's really just a lack of focus. And that's just because they're excited. So, I mean, Melody McFarland is an ambassador diamond, and she's known for saying, I'm so excited! And we love that energy, and we love blues, and we want the fun. So it has to be fun, or else they're not doing it. But we also want to make sure that they know how to work the business so they do succeed as well. So go ahead on this slide, Alicia.
So keywords in talking with blues, either on your team or that you want to be on your team, are using the word fun, using the word excitement, using the word freedom. You know, guys, a lot of blues, just like what Jackie just said, you know, they work this business to have the freedom to travel and the freedom to go shopping with girlfriends and the freedom to go and hang out and have girl days, or, you know, take your family on Disney cruises and those kind of things. So don't discredit that when you're talking to people. Now, the weaknesses can be they talk too much, poor follow-up, unorganized, and exaggerated. So you as a red or a yellow, you know, you can push the blues through that. But when you're identifying them, always see that they're the ones that are the life of the parties. Like we said, they're always the ones that are super talkative, and they seem to gather a crowd a lot of times. People like to be around blues because they are vibrant. They are alive. They typically dress very stylish or flamboyantly, so they're easy to identify. If you're talking to someone out in a crowd, you know, the part that they're going to get excited about in the Blitz card is where they you talk about having a party or having a get together or getting together for a taste it. They want community. They want to get together and they want to have that time in a group. They want to be in a group environment with each other to just really excel. If you want to kill the spirit of a blue, put them in a house and shut the door alone. They'll just die. And so that's one of the reasons too, when you have team members and they start just working their businesses on social media and you don't get together with them, sometimes they fall aside and sometimes they go away. So you've got to stay with those blues and work with them and hang out with them or meet with them with, you know, with coffee and different things, because that's possibly very much why they joined this company.
A couple things to think about with blues is that this is a lot of our team, 25%. This is a people business. And I often will put blues in charge of our team events, or, you know, all right, let's do 2 gives back events this year. And can you plan like a Christmas party? Or, you know, you can put blues in charge of creating some of the fun stuff for the team. Because they love it and they want to. And then everybody says, oh my gosh, thank you for planning it. And they're like, oh my gosh, this is my thing. And it's so fun. So you can put blues in charge of things on your team that will, let's do a team party once a month. Can you help plan it? Like, let's do this once a month or once a quarter. And that just gives them a role in the team that makes them go, I'm thriving here. And when you have teammates that feel like their gifts and skills are being used for the betterment of the organization, they will stay because they know they're valued. So it's important to identify yourself, but then also identify your teammates, because you can help grow them in that area. And then, of course, when you can listen to prospects and understand how to speak their language, it will help them close as well. Anything else about blues?
I think there's a lot of professional salespeople that are blues. So you can really identify and target a lot of blues. I think blues sometimes make like great insurance salesmen, even real estate sales, and, you know, high-end corporate sales, because they're comfortable in group environments. They're comfortable in that sales pitch or presentation because they're pretty bold with talking to people and being in big groups. So they make great distributors because they're already trained a lot of times in sales or doing those presentations or doing, you know, a talk about a product. So go for the blue, find the blues, because, you know, your best balanced team is having a little bit of everybody on your team. And it just makes it that more exciting when you've got some great positive blues on your team. You know, if you're not blue, remember you've got to talk blue, and you can't talk green, you can't talk red, you can't talk yellow to a blue. So raise the pitch when you're talking to a blue. Be a little bit more excited when you're talking to a blue. And a lot of times a blue can even be kind of touchy-feely. So give them a big squeeze and give them a big hug, even if you're not a hugger sometimes, and just really talk their language so you can let them know that this is a great, safe, and fun place to be in.
One thing about blues, if you asked them to build a bridge, they'd be like, all right, party at the bridge. Who's coming with me? And they would like gather everybody to go to the bridge, and they're not asking details. They're not necessarily caring about where the bridge is or what products you're using. They just want to know who's building the bridge with me. And you guys, we all have a little bit of everything. We do. We all have a little bit of everything. The question is, and you can even have a different piece of this predominant based on what you're doing, you know? So in It Works, you may be more red than when you're a mom, you know what I mean? Or when you're in a different role. But okay, let's go on to yellows. Oh, go ahead, Elise.
I responded to Jackie. Jackie was talking about being a blue and how she was so driven to be a blue because she wanted to be in the big party seat. She wanted to be in the VIP where all the cool other people were down in the center. And see, for Jackie, I just wanted the prize. I wanted the trophy. And now the new gifts that we get at the different ranks. I mean, like the keychains and the bags and the $1 million bracelets and all of that stuff. Like, I'm so excited about those prizes. So super excited about that. So let's talk about yellow. And, you know, when we're talking about yellow, we just kind of tone it down just a little bit. You know, our voice and our intonation becomes just a little bit softer and more yellow. And surprisingly, 40% of all people are yellow. I think that even my enroller and, you know, Denise Walsh, she was yellow until somebody showed her the money. And they ask why. You know, a yellow hates conflict and will always try to accommodate and please people. Have you ever met the people pleasers? Maybe you are the people pleaser. They're really amazing to have on your team because they are team players. You know, they come to everything they can unless somebody in their family's sick or dying because they're taking care of them. They're very understandable. I mean, a lot of times you're going to see teachers and nurses and counselors. If you're identifying those kind of people, I mean, look at Denise. She was a counselor. Look at Nikki. She was a teacher. Look at these type of professions where they're in a service personnel or a service. Yeah, it's really a service personality industry where they're helping other people. They're givers. They're donating their time to benefit others. They're helpers. I mean, that is the person that always is volunteering to help. They are followers. So if you are a real dominant red, you're a real dominant blue, it's very typical that you're going to have a lot of yellows coming up underneath you. But don't be surprised if the yellow doesn't just shoot past you, because a yellow has this magnetic personality a lot of times that people are really, really drawn to. So don't show this group a check. They don't care about the money. Honestly, you have to keep them in line so they don't give away everything they've got. You know, they're the ones that they get all their sample packs, and the first thing they do is give them all away instead of selling them all. You know, so don't talk to these people about money. Talk to them about how they're going to help other people. Denise, you need to share about your nanny.
Yeah, Miss Chrissy's on the call, and I have to tell Miss Chrissy's story really quick because she's been around us for 10 years. She's cleaned for Mark and Cindy. She cleaned for Joel and Steph and for Cammie and Nathan, and she knows all about It Works. The thing that got her to say, I want to do this, was when Macy, if you're on this, Macy, it was your interview, and we talked about how you won the cruise. And Macy shared the story of her mom using greens and experiencing relief from lupus. And so it was a product testimony. And Miss Chrissy said, if I can help people, then yes, I want to do this. And you know what? There's so many reasons why people jump on board. And Chrissy, I do think you've got a lot of the different colors, but you are a servant heart and you want to help people, period. And so I feel like when we're talking about, and I could have talked about the money, I could have talked about, I mean, we did talk about the fun, but it was like when she really was like, oh, I want to help people. That was what flipped the switch for her. That's what spoke her language. So think about the people you know that really just want to serve. They want to serve, they want to help, and It Works can be a vehicle for them to do that. We put our yellows and blues in the front desk of parties. You know, they do sign-in because they want to welcome people. They're kind of like the warm, you know, grandmas a little bit, like, how are you and what's going on and how can I help? And like, they're really heartfelt communicators because they really do care and they don't like conflict. And so they're the ones that are going to just like they're going to show up, they're going to be around. I definitely, as a therapist, was a yellow, and then the competitive spirit got kicked in. But yeah. Okay. So how do we work with yellows, and how do we talk to yellows who are prospects?
So yellows love working as a team and doing group activities together. You know, keywords with talking to a yellow and trying to recruit a yellow might be team, together, relationship, family, helping, nurturing. They want to know what they're going to be doing is supported and encouraged by their team. You know, they want that team environment that everybody else is helping each other. And that's why I believe, and it works, we have so many yellows that become lifers. You know, the yellows tend to get into It Works and never leave, because I think that we fill all their needs with our products and our compensation plan, and everything that we have to offer is so geared towards a yellow. And you know, even if you're yellow or you're talking to someone that is yellow and they're not money motivated, like most yellows are not, let them know that the money that they make, you know, give them that visual of what they can do with that. You know, realize that if you make a little bit of money, you could sponsor a child in Africa. Look at the impact you could make. Look at the impact you could make going on a mission trip, you know, to Honduras. You know, these people are really, really givers and caretakers. And sometimes a yellow, you know, they're not in professions typically that make a lot of money. And It Works is going to be a vehicle and a tool for them to make big impacts in the world, because their heart is to help and to make those big impacts. You know, they're stable and they like to work at their own pace. And with that, you know, pushing them along at their pace, at their speed. Don't give them super tight time constrictions, because they don't work that way. You know, give them a month to reach a goal, and you know how they're going to succeed in doing that by the way that they're going to help others and change others' lives. You know, a yellow is panicking right now because they don't want to waste their $20 codes, you know. So what you need to really share with them, in, you know, it being month end for us, is look at how many lives you can change in the next 3 days by enrolling them with our company. Look at the difference they're going to make when you share with someone that joins our company this week, and how many people they can touch with our products. You know, you got to talk to them like that. They love things too, like team blitzing days, team calls, team dinners. And I want you to realize their team was repeated 3 times, because just like a blue, and you know, a lot of times you'll see yellows and blues hanging out a lot together, and that's because they love that community environment. They are not the one out in the center of the stage dancing like Denise was talking about, but they're definitely there. And you'll always see the blues and the yellows showing up at conference and the big events.
One thing, you know, I'm probably a bit more yellow than I think too, because I feel like when you add value, the money will come. So when I give purpose, like for me, It Works is connected to purpose. And so I feel like yellows are very purpose driven as well. I do this business because I know that I can impact people here way more than I could as a clinical psychologist. And I feel like yellows are probably purpose driven. They're excited. They want to help, and they're excited because they know they can help, and they know that they can help people get out of debt or whatever the case may be. So again, when you're doing your presentation, you're saying you're going to make so much money, have a ton of fun, and help so many people along the way. So when I'm telling my story, I say that. I say I help more people now than I ever could at my JOB. We're having so much fun doing community and life together, and I get to make so much money in the process. So you're trying to speak all the language because you want them to go, that's me, that's me, that's me. All right, last but not least, greens.
Oh my goodness. This one is so hard for me because I'm so not green. This is 25% of all people, you guys. They ask how. You know, they're the people that won't enroll for a loyal customer or a distributor until they've read the entire compensation plan, until they've asked you every ingredient in the product. They're the ones that if they ask a million questions, you can already just write it down that they're agreeing. They may seem rigid and resistant to change at times, but they're not. They just want to know all the details up front. They just want to be prepared across the board and be educated completely before they take action. They love details and they analyze and sometimes overanalyze to us yellow, blues, and reds everything. The greens are cautious to make decisions, but it's very calculated. It's not that they are not excited about the product. It's not that they're, you know, they wouldn't ask the additional details about the product or about the business if they weren't excited or interested. They just make very calculated decisions and want to have every fact laid out to them first. They're very polite. Typically, you don't really find a rude green or, you know, a nasty green. They're soft-spoken typically and just want to know all the details. You'll see a lot of times accountants, engineers, research. I mean, Denise, do we find that Brandon, your spouse, is a little green, you know, and like having all the facts and the details and the research and the analytics?
Yeah, you find that greens are slow to speak. You know, they're like taking out things in, but when they do speak, they're usually right because they've done the research on it, and they're people you want on your team because they've done all the research. They're very loyal. They're the ones that have read the policies and procedures. I didn't even know we had them. Just kidding. They like created them after I signed up, so whatever. But they're the ones that are so this is what I've learned in working with greens is they're going to ask you tons and tons and tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of questions. Now, again, we all know that we love questions because that means people are interested. But what I've learned is that sometimes I would be like, I've never thought of that in my whole life. I have no idea what you're even talking about. You know, they're asking a question about a specific ingredient or comp plan thing or whatever. And so what I found is that I would start to get like anxious or something when they were texting me all these questions. And what I realized is that the greens, I don't need to be the answer. They just need to know there is an answer. So for greens, what I do is really get them in connection with where the answer is. So they go to the comp plan document and the policies and procedures and they read them and they highlight them and they know exactly where the spelling error is and they're like so detailed about it. But here is what I know. I need greens in my life. I need them. I mean, Mr. Joel, our handyman, is a green. He sees things I do not see. He's like, do you want to replace the light bulb in the garage? And I'm like, okay. I didn't even know it was out. I didn't even see that. So you need greens around you because, or at least we need all the colors, right? If you're a green, then you need some blues in your life. But greens are really organized and focused, and they are motivated by the stats. So one person that's successful in this business that I would say is a green is Joel Dunn. He is pretty OCD if you get to know him pretty well. We went on trips with him as Black Diamond, and he brought all his supplements and he lined them up and he took them the exact same way every single morning. He's very habitual, and greens are just detailed like that. You know, they just are. So when you have a green on your team, Alicia, what types of ways can you highlight them?
Well, the first thing I do, and you had mentioned that earlier, if I feel like that I'm talking to a green who is interested in joining the team, know that only 35% of people are green. So, you know, you can't speak green a lot of times unless you are green. So don't try. Okay, that's the first thing. Don't try. And just send them the documents. If you go to your eSuite and go to documents, you can download all the information that they're going to want to know anyway. And just email it to them because they're going to really appreciate that we do have that compensation plan, that we do have the facts, figures, and numbers, that we do have the full product disclosure. Send them the website, www.myitworksproductcoach.com. That's for all loyal customers and distributors, and they can see everything in there. You can get full product disclosure statements in there that have the nutritional labels, that have the frequently asked questions. All of that is there. And that is accessible to people that are not even within the company. So a green can have that as a tool that they love because it's all the details. Now, if I'm talking to a green and I find out that I want them to be on my team, because like Denise said, we want greens on our teams. I love greens to lead in product knowledge training because they know everything. I love them to teach about the compensation plan because they have all of the stats, the numbers, the figures, and the statistics are all right here. And I know that their checkbook is balanced to the penny. It's not 1 cent off. So when I'm talking to that green, you know, I can say, you know what, you can join this business for $99, and we're going to give you a steps to success proven method and charts to guide you through our compensation plan to the top 1% of all income earners in America, with an easy plan that's duplicatable to you and those under you, just by enrolling 4 new loyal customers each and every month, and 4 new or 5 new, is it 5 and 5 now? I can't keep it. 5 new loyal customers, 5 new distributors each and every month. If I was able to show you how to take $99 using these time-proven plans through our compensation plan and easy steps to success and turn it into $500 a month, would you be interested in joining my team? You know, that's how you can talk to a green. If you go up to a green and go, oh my God, it's going to be such a party. We're going to have the best time. It's going to be girlfriends every day. And you're going to join for $99. You're going to get wraps. You're going to put them on. And then you're going to be tight and toed and furry. You're going to be looking fabulous. Don't you want to be a part of my team? The green's going to go, yeah, not going to happen, you know? Or if you went up to the green and was like, we're going to make so much money. You're not even going to know what your bank account is going to look like a year from now, because it is going to be so phenomenal. We're going to make millions, and you're going to get wrap cash for this. And then we're going to make, you know, fast start bonuses every once in a while when you enroll a team member. I mean, if you just start talking about money, but not specifically how much and not how much they're going to do it, the green's going to turn off. Okay. And so you have to start realizing whatever your language is, like mine being red, I can't speak my language to a blue. I can't speak my language to a green. I mean, there are people on here right now that are probably French speaking, and I'm sorry for my Southern dialect. I hope you can understand me. But, you know, it would be just like me trying to speak French. You know, I don't speak French, you know? So we have to speak the language of the person that we want to be a part of our team. And you guys are professional. You guys can identify who you are now, and then you can work on identifying who they are to speak their language, to show them that no matter what, and it works, we can meet the need that they have.
Absolutely. So I missed the bridge example for yellows and greens, but if you were to ask a bridge or a yellow to build a bridge, they would be like, awesome. Why? What is the bridge for? Who are we helping? What are we bridging? Is someone cool going to be like, are we going to be able to help people across the bridge? Like, they really want to know more of how the bridge is going to impact the community and why it's beneficial and that kind of thing. And then greens, who do you think you really want to build the bridge? Greens. Right? Because they're going to go, how high do you want it? What materials do you want to use? How strong does it need to be? They're going to ask all the clarifying detailed questions in order to make a very successful bridge. So you can see in a team, you do need all of the colors represented. And in your party presentation, you can speak all of the languages, because we might not know immediately what somebody's like love language is. So we can share our story, and this is something for you guys to think about, how to craft your story, like the highlights of why you got started, life before. Jackie did a great training on how to tell your story and last week, I think it was, or 2 weeks ago. And that's been, I think it was last week, it's now in the archive, so you can check that out in units. But you can use these words throughout the entire thing. So I say, it works. I was a clinical psychologist, and now I get to help way more people than I ever could before. I'm making way more money than I ever was before. I'm having so much more fun. And Brandon did a ton of research because I didn't. But for our story, Brandon did a ton of research. He's always wanted to be an entrepreneur. He was always looking into ways to make side income. And he did a lot of research about network marketing and how these companies work. And he thought, oh my gosh, a hot sizzle product. The timing is right. Company, who cares? We knew the owners, all that good stuff. So you can craft your own story and highlight pieces of it that will connect with your audience in a way that then speaks their language. So Alicia, should we do any other role playing or anything else you're thinking about?
Well, one of the things I was thinking about there too, so many of us don't right now speak in public at group events or those type of things. So remember to do that on your live presentations, but also when you're posting. Guys, remember that I want you to always think about your post on social media as your billboards on the interstate. So when you're driving down the interstate, the billboards are posted. Okay, what gets your attention? What billboard makes you take an action step? That's the same thing that you're doing when you're scrolling your social media. So what are you posting on your billboard today? And are you posting posts that are going to hit the red market? Are you talking about all the money that you're making? Are you talking about the fast start that you made that you're going to get on Thursday? Are you talking about reaching the Millionaires Club or, achieving a goal or a prize? Are you talking about helping others? Are you talking about the easy steps to success that we offer in the charts and the graphs? Are you talking about the fun, the friendships, and the freedom? Finding when you're posting your billboards that you need to be targeting and thinking about the red, the blue, the green, and the yellow audience, as well as just who you are. Be sure you're trying to target all those people as well. But we can role play if you want to, or if we've got a couple minutes.
If you guys have any questions about how you can use this information in your own life, absolutely, let us know right now. Yeah. Oh yeah, Carmela, did you listen to Jackie's training last night? Or last week, where she talked about how to tell your story? When we talk about telling our story, it's before it works, why we joined it works, and now because of it works, essentially, is kind of like the hook. And that's any story that you're going to post on social media, if you're going to write your story, or if you're going to share your story. Joining it works is like the pivot. So I was a clinical psychologist. I was bored out of my mind. And I was overworked, underpaid, and I didn't know what else to do. Then I found it works, and I'm able to use my same love for people and helping people grow in a much easier way with the people who want help and a system that can help them. Now, I know for networking luncheons, you're often going around and you have a minute and a half, right, to share a little bit of your story, but then you also want to make an ask afterwards so they know how they can best help you. So at a networking lunch, you say, this is my story, this is why I signed up, this is what I love about it, and I'm looking for people who are getting married, having a baby, or going on vacation because I know they would love the wrap. And then the next meeting, you have to say something different, or, you'd try to switch it up. So then the next time you'd say, and I'm looking, you'd say your story, the same thing typically. And then you'd say, and today I'm looking for somebody, it's, sickness season here in Michigan, who keeps getting sick because they need our greens. And so typically at a networking lunch, your story isn't going to change a ton, but your ask will. And that's what you'd want to prepare to.
What's funny, Denise, is that's how my dad teaches witnessing. That same way when you're when you're teaching or sharing your testimony.
Aw.
With your
Jesus,
faith.
Before Jesus, after Jesus.
That's it. That's exactly what he said. That he did it this past Sunday at church. So I thought that was pretty cool that you said the same thing.
Oh, we do know that people get connected with their faith in this business too, because they're surrounded by people who care. And what I think is so special is when you're in a team like this and you're all excited and you're focused and you're dreaming, maybe even for the first time, you can let your guard down, right? And when you let your guard down, you can let your roots in, and a lot of cool things happen here. So I love that.
Is there anyone that just really is having a hard time identifying your color? Is there anybody that just can say, I don't know. I just don't know. If you feel like that you just really cannot identify your color, there is an online quiz, and we probably should post that on the Black Diamond Mind page, where you can go in and take a little survey of different questions, and it kind of gives you your primary and your secondary in a percentage scoring based on how you answer certain questions. So if you really feel like that you're really struggling with identifying your own color personality, we'll try and post that quiz for you, because it's really, really important to first identify yourself and what you feel and think that you are, in order to be able to speak to others. And, then maybe identify your spouse or your significant other. And then maybe identify the people that, the 5 people that you're surrounded with most times, because you know how they affect and impact your life. And then through identifying those people, you can start to learn how to communicate and identify other people's color personalities. And if you feel like you're having a hard time with that, ask lots of questions. The answer is always, always ask more questions than talking, and you're going to be able to identify, are they really into helping people? Are they really into numbers? Are they really into, details? Are they really into being the life of the party and go, 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 travel, travel, travel? Are they really just focused and driven at their job? Are they really competitive? Are they in every Spartan race there is, in every competition, in every challenge? If they have a wall of plaques and trophies in their living room, you can start identifying people through those.
I know some teams who give this quiz to their new distributors, so that way they can help them get started and train them better, because they know exactly like how to speak to them or what they might need. But I do think that we're different colors in different areas of our life. So if you're feeling like, I'm not sure, then often it could just be you're a lot of different colors. We all are. I didn't know how blue I was until I had FOMO, and then I was like, oh, I do like hanging out with people. But the thing is what are you for it works? When you're working your business, are you motivated by the money? Are you motivated by the people? Are you motivated by the products? Are you motivated by the fun? Like, what motivates you in this business? And that can help you identify how you can best work in this space. So you probably are a lot of things. We all are. But what motivates you in this area of your life? So, all right. Well, it is almost 10 o'clock. Alicia, anything you want to add? And I'm going to end with an I declare.
I'm excited to hear your I declare. That's what I'm going to add. And I will see you in Michigan in just a couple days.
We might have, I'm hearing 6 inches of snow. So I was told we may not have school tomorrow, but we'll see. I'm really hoping we do. And I'm
just more worried about Sunday's forecast.
Okay. Well,
it looks a little cray-cray.
Really dry or, yes, okay. It's been a really crazy winter. I don't think my kids have gone to school. They've gone to school 1 full week, in the past month. Okay, we will have school.
It's a good thing that Green Carpet is in September this year, because your kids are going to be in school all summer.
Yes, I know, right? Oh, okay. So I am going to end with an I declare. This is an affirmation that Joel Osteen wrote. It's a book called I Declare. And I love reading them, because I know that the way we speak matters. And I want to help us all to kind of create those new brain patterns where when we have a down day, this comes into our mind. And I'll post this on the page as well. So we'll close after this. I declare that I will ask God for big things in my life. I will pray bold prayers and expect big and believe big. I will ask God to bring to pass these hidden dreams that are deep in my heart. If certain promises don't look like they will happen, I will not be intimidated and give up. I will pray with boldness, expecting God to show himself strong, knowing that nothing is too difficult for him. This is my declaration, and this is my declaration for you. We'll see you guys next week. Thanks for hanging out. Bye.